What's going on, fish? Welcome back to your favorite pond, the Coy Pond, episode 70. There is no reason 70 is better than the rest, but it's the most recent, and we appreciate you clicking. As you know, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Podcast, and Amazon Music, as you know. And again, this week I'm joined by one of my best friends. He's your best friend. It's Matt.
I'm
back with us 2
One
weeks
more.
in a row. An absolute dog. Appreciate him doing this. And this week, we actually have a SpeakPipe question. Shout out SpeakPipe. Send us your questions. As you all know, let's listen in.
Hey fellas, now that the NFL season is over, I have an idea for you. I think you guys should do a little bit of NFL trivia, and every time you get something wrong, you have to take a dabble of some hot sauce that gets progressively a little bit spicier. Let me know what you think. I think it'd be some good stuff.
All right. You know what? I'm not going to lie. I don't hate that idea. I think it could be kind of hilarious. Now, the trivia, that part of it's going to be hard because K-Man himself would absolutely dominate me on anything earlier than 2005, probably. But I'd give him a run for his money after that. And I don't think obviously he means Kev and I when we go back to the studio.
Yeah, I'm not that good as he. I'll leave that one up to Kevin.
Matt might opt out of those episodes.
Yeah.
But casually going from maybe Cholula all the way to Da Bomb, as featured on Hot Ones, hashtag Hot Ones, at Hot Ones YouTube. That might be hilarious. I'm not going to lie. I would probably be down for that until the next morning after the hot sauce episode when I'm begging for forgiveness. With that being said, don't hate the idea. We'll have to run it by the big man. You know, it's only half the official Coy Pond. I think Matt's earned himself at least an honorary spot as the third member, if there's any fish in the pond. Nevertheless, we also, on top of the SpeakPipe question, thank you, SpeakPipe question, we have a video from our sideline reporter in Buffalo.
We have a special report from the K-Man out here in Orchard Park, New York, on behalf of the Coy Pond. You can see in the background here, I think, the new Buffalo Bills Stadium being constructed here in Orchard Park, New York. It's going to be the future home of the Bills. It's going to be 70% covered, so you'll still have snow on the field because it is Buffalo football, and you have to have the elements. And it's very exciting. They claim you can even see it from Buffalo. So, heck of a new stadium, and this roving reporter is out. Peace.
And you know what? We get a stadium update from our own K-Man. Just putting in that hard work and dedication to get some on-site action. Thank you, Kevin, for that riveting report. No, that's really cool. He was around there for work, and obviously pretty cool. He thought about doing that. Shout out to K-Man himself, our sideline reporter. We'll have to work on getting him an on-field pass this next season. Get some more sideline reporting done. But yeah, I mean, Bill Stadium, a great segue. We're just going to talk more player news. You know, this whole last week has been nothing but players re-signing with their teams, players signing with new teams. The reactions from this are always the best because while it may not be the huge trades, a lot of these faces switching teams that have never switched teams before. And what better than the Bills to start with after Kevin's riveting report about the new stadium, which I think I've heard has had financial problems recently. So we'll see when that gets completed. I'm not officially reporting on that. I've only seen headlines. I have not read too much into it.
Josh Allen's new deal's bankrupted him.
Yeah, Josh Allen's new deal. Let's talk about it. $250 million guaranteed, a 6-year deal for $330 million. I mean, a lot of money to lose in the championship game, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're guaranteed to at least get to the AFC Championship.
Such an asshole move. He definitely deserves it. If you look at it where he started his rookie season to now, definitely a guy you want to pay. And the fact that they gave him $330 for 6 years, I mean, he's earning every buck of that. He's done the most with the least, it felt like, according to headlines in the previous years. Good on the Bills. You know, that's huge. Josh Palmer signing with the Bills. That's pretty cool. He was previously with the Chargers?
Josh Palmer on the Chargers, yeah.
He was on there. Okay, I'm making sure I'm not
team,
crazy.
Buddy. Yeah.
That's what I thought. That's actually like the most consistent wide receiver the Chargers have had in the last 3 years. So that's good on them. They get
Should have been
consistent wide
Quentin
receiver.
Johnson.
I know someone with amazing hands. And of course, Joey Bosa signing with the Bills. Hilarious.
Yeah.
I honestly thought he'd sign with the 49ers. I don't think he has more than 2 years left in his career. The fact that he did the not Vernon Davis, who's the linebacker from the Broncos that signed with the Bills? Oh, do you not? Fuck. Not DeMarcus Ware. That was so long ago from the Cowboys. Oh my god.
Off the top of my head.
Oh my, I see his face in my head. It haunts me. I'll just cut this part. I have no idea.
But also that Larry Joby.
Yes.
He's also from the Chargers.
Yeah, he is. I mean, the Bills got some good pickups here for a single season. Nothing crazy, but again, Bosa signing with them instead of the 49ers. I can't believe that he didn't go play with his brother, honestly, but maybe he had enough of that. And the Bills are probably a little bit more immediate contenders, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Good on the Bills. Some good signings here.
I think I said last time we talked, the Bills missed their window like last two times I was on here. And I think it's honestly the best overall team with all these trades so far they've had in the recent years.
Yeah, and it's
receiver wise, and
it's
they also
the draft.
got the edges. Yeah, exactly. So might have been wrong about that, but it's still the Bills.
You know, Bills might be paper warriors for sure.
They've known for never being able to finish.
Amen to that. Talking about never finishing, Dolphins pick up Zach Wilson, the MILF hunter himself. Pretty crazy, honestly, that Zach Wilson's still in the league. I find it hilarious that the Dolphins are about to go from Snoop Huntley to the Wilsonator. Just insane.
Will Tua be back to start?
I believe so. I think he'll be healthy. There was a video that surfaced of him in the offseason, and people were clowning him.
Yeah, him sitting there turned off, overweight, come here. I'm like, bro's on vacation.
Yeah, it's March. People overreacting. That is crazy. They have so much money that goes into their bodies to get them ready. They'll be fine.
I also really like the Westbrook and Keenan trade they got from the Titans.
Yes.
That dude, I think he 80% of the balls he caught last year were all for touchdowns. I think if he actually gets targeted more, he could actually be a pretty good wide receiver too.
Yeah, and
Tyreek is on the fence of staying, I believe. So.
Well, he was getting yelled at by Mike McDaniels because he was talking about leaving and how bad the team was, and then they either re-signed him or he's back. And honestly, Dolphin land feels like a mess.
Yeah, but
okay. That makes sense. It's a mess over there in Dolphin land. Moving on to the Patriots. Mike Vrabel now coaching them. They get the Pastronaut, absolute demon.
They got alligator boy Matt Collins.
Yeah, Matt Collins coming over to the Patriots. Because that's the same guy from the Bills, right? That was shoeless.
Yeah, the barefoot guy. Yeah. It was a pet alligator. It clearly wasn't that good if they're willing to give him away in division. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't quite understand that because I thought he was still new, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Good on the Patriots making some moves in the offseason. Austin Hooper, I believe, was decent. I don't remember him being too bad. I can't remember where he was, but hey, got to start somewhere with the Patriots.
He was on the Patriots. He was tight end too.
Behind Hunter Henry. Okay.
Yep.
That's where I remember. That makes sense. New York Jets signing Justin Fields.
I like that pick a lot. I think Fields is underrated, underlooked on. I've said it before. I'll say it again.
I don't hate Fields.
I think if he gets in the right system, the fan base and the players actually have faith in the dude, he will do well. Dude got signed on the Bears, had one bad game, and for the rest of his career on the Bears, got shit on. Even though he really didn't play that bad. He goes to the Steelers this year, wins like the first 5 games, gets benched Russell Wilson. Like, no one ever has faith in the dude. If you give that dude some faith and some pieces around him, I think he could actually do it. It's the Jets franchise as a whole.
Yeah.
Not that great, but I think he will do better. Like, the Jets will significantly improve with him this year.
I don't still understand why the Aaron Rodgers experiment went as poorly as it did. Who knows what that first season looks like if he doesn't tear his Achilles on the 3rd play.
Yeah.
But, it's clear that one didn't work. You might as well try someone else. 2 years for, $20 million a year.
For a young QB, though, because they got a lot of young talent with Garrett Wilson, Braylon Allen, Breece Hall. They got a lot of young talent, so this team could grow mesh over the next few years. It might not be immediate, but I think it will be.
I agree. The upside of this, if everything meshes well on cheap players that are young, it could be really good. It's just the Jets organization as a whole. Historically, it's just a cursed team, it feels like, until they bring in someone. I don't know who that would be, but...
And I mean, last year, the O-line wasn't that great, and they had a non-mobile Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and it seemed
and they
like
also brought in Devontae Adams, which pissed off Garrett Wilson, which created turmoil in the locker room.
Yeah.
And now they're both gone, probably. I don't know about Aaron Rodgers. I think he's gone.
I think he's a free agent now.
Been announced.
Garrett Wilson, I believe, is staying, and Devontae Adams is already... Well, we'll get into that.
We'll get there, yeah.
AFC North now. Baltimore Ravens, they get D-Hop. I don't know how they got D-Hop.
Free agent.
Yeah, for $6 million a year. That's a steal. Can't be mad. Not too many moves. I'm sure Ronnie Stanley's a great offensive tackle. Can't speak on him too much.
There's an old tweet that came up from D-Hop or Facebook or something from like 2020, 2018 that said this team would be unbeatable. And it was Lamar, Henry, and D-Hop on the same team. So now it's finally coming to fruition, but
the team of
5-7 years a little later, but it's there.
Hey, there you go. Bengals, hot topic. Samaje Perine is back. That's hilarious after he just got done losing the Super Bowl.
I don't mind that.
No, he was good. I like Perine. I don't think there's anything wrong, especially after how the season ended where Zach Moss didn't add up to what they had hoped. And was it Warren on the Bengals that ended up having a good season? Why can't I remember
Brown?
That? Chase Brown, thank you.
Chase Brown's running back one. Yep. And then they brought in, not Foreman, the Brown
Swift?
Bears old running back.
Freeman,
yeah.
And he had the fumble on the first run, but
that was bad.
Nevertheless, Perine I like a lot. 2 years for 3.8 is a steal. Can't even be mad about that. T. Higgins,
the big tag. One of two people this year to receive a franchise tag,
and his second tag with
year
the Bengals.
In a row. Yeah.
They got to get a deal done with him. I can't imagine what that's like.
I'm sure they will. Joe Burrow will probably restructure. Jamar will probably restructure, or like get the money, but like not till at the end of his contract. Like kind of what they're starting to do with baseball. I feel like you can see that becoming a trend.
And also, it's one of those things where who knows behind the scenes what any of that looks like.
Exactly.
That trio is so good. For all we know, T. Higgins is happy with the small amount of 26.2.
Yeah.
Who knows? Mike Gesicki, the demon in the night.
The great white hope of football.
Yeah, became a real target in the towards the end of the season for the Bengals. I don't think that's the deal that Bengals fans were looking to see get tweeted out when it did, but
everyone's wanting T.
Yeah, Gesicki was still a great pickup for him this past season. So getting re-signed, I think, is huge. Same with Tanner Hudson.
They've got a couple of pickups, a little defense. I think that BJ Hill's pretty solid, but I don't know much of those names, to be honest with you.
No, sadly, the men in the trenches rarely get the credit they deserve. But one man in the trenches that does get the credit is Kenny Pickett.
Super Bowl champion.
Traded to the Cleveland Browns, where he might have been destined to be this whole time. If you think about it, Kenny Pickett might be the answer to the Browns' prayers.
I don't know. I don't understand why they even did that trade. Kenny Pickett for DTR. It just makes no sense.
You get maybe a shakeup in the quarterback room for both teams.
Yeah, but I mean, why did the Eagles need to shake it up?
They didn't. Maybe they just wanted to see a new quarterback in the locker room. I mean, to sign Myles Garrett to that, claim you're going to get a quarterback, and then Kenny Pickett. You pick up Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Got to be slamming your fist on the table after signing that. I mean,
organization's going to be in shambles for the next 5 years unless some crazy draft prospect is to them.
What, Cam Ward or whoever, but...
Or just like some like sleeper, like someone in the third round just turns out to be one of the best. I don't know.
Like a Mississippi State quarterback, Dak Prescott, perhaps. Maybe
the
Browns find their Dak.
A little Mr. Elvin Brock Purdy comes out of nowhere.
Maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
For the time being, until the draft, Kenny Pickett's on the Browns. That's hilarious to me. Shout out Myles Garrett for getting his bag. I guess you get a bag or a ring, and he chose bag, which that might go a little farther.
Oh, no, Kenny Pickett is a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
You are correct. I keep forgetting he is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I really should put my foot in my mouth and wait to see the results. Yeah, put a little respect on the name for the love of God.
He played in the Super Bowl too.
He did. You know what? All these are facts. I can't even deny it. Pittsburgh Steelers, DK
Crazy.
Metcalf. I mean, George Pickens, who knows what they do with him? I find it to be hilarious in that sense that now the backfield is just going to be an absolute brawl in the hall.
I do not want to defend any of them, bro. Someone's getting hit every game.
There are going to be corners begging for mercy as Kenny Pickett pulls out the switch.
Dude, that practice is going to be crazy. Darius Slay, DK Metcalf, and George Pickens, bro, they're going to get in 20 fights every practice.
I know.
And I was shocked, though, they were willing to give up Najee for Kenneth Gainwell.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't a trade, but like they obviously went for Kenneth Gainwell,
Right.
and they're like, okay, now we don't need Najee. Like,
they're happy with
there.
Warren, and then pick up Gainwell, who in my head remind me of the same sort of running back, opposed to having Najee and Warren.
Yeah.
So that part, if I'm a Steelers fan, not scares me, but concerns me. But you pick up Donald Parham Jr., who's a great tight end, 1-year contract, couldn't have been for much. Not bad trade. Steelers needed to do it if they're going to pick up Aaron Rodgers and have a more of a contending team.
Yeah.
Which I don't, as of right now, Aaron Rodgers hasn't signed anywhere to my knowledge. But I mean,
he should just sign a lease in Florida and retire, but
go on his one last ayahuasca trip in the dark.
Dude got 400 touchdowns, like you hit your milestone there, you're not playing for much anymore. You're most likely not going to win a ring. All these quarterbacks keeps overstaying their welcome because they saw Tom Brady do it and be successful, and everyone else that tries it can't do it.
To the same extent, it's all they know in their life is that team mentality, so I could see why letting go of it could be hard when you're 40 whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, you're coming off a torn ACL a year ago and a horrible season the year after.
I think it's the same way we think about gambling, though. I'm never gonna stop, no matter how bad it gets.
I could, but you never know what's going to happen.
I can put down the phone if I wanted to. I don't need the number. But Steelers making moves. Good on them. I don't think in the past they've made quite as many moves, so clearly trying to show that they're ready. Then the fucking Texans.
I like what they've been doing.
I agree. I just meant on the sheer volume of transactions. Yeah. It's just
CJ Gardner-Johnson was a huge pickup.
Yes.
That solves a lot of their problems there. They also, I believe, already have a lot of other good safeties and corners on what's it called? Already on contract. And then they've been stocking up on the edges. They've been stocking up on the line. Like, they've actually got some good pieces, and they've covered the Tank Dell being gone by getting Darius Watson and Kirk.
Yes, I actually love these wide receiver pickups. You've got to be able to work them into the system for Tank Dell. Christian Kirk for a 7th rounder is a bucket of apples. Totally worth it. Berrios, I remember hearing, what team was he on?
He was on the Dolphins. I think he was like wide receiver 3 or 4 on the Dolphins. He can play well. He just they had Waddle, Reek, and maybe that was it.
Maybe. Well, yeah, they had the tight end really pop off towards the end, Judon Smith or something like that. Yeah. But no, the Texans are building that team back up. Not to say it wasn't built up last season, but obviously that season didn't go quite as well as they had hoped.
And I said it a lot, I'm not very high on Christian Kirk.
Yes.
But to fit into that scheme with Nico, Diggs, and Schultz and everyone, it kind of fits in. Diggs is not officially coming back yet.
Right. I feel like with all these moves, it's got to be highly considered, but who knows? Diggs is, at this point, clearly not ring chasing, that's the wrong word, but looking to be somewhere that's a winning team.
Yeah, but when you see a team trying to stack up this hard and really going all in, it's going to be hard to want to leave that team with this much potential.
It should be very convincing. And then you go to the other side of the AFC South, and Daniel Jones is now in a quarterback competition with AR-15. I don't know what to say. I mean,
that's all you can say, man. Was it Khalil Herbert, the Bengals running back?
Yes. Oh, that was who it was.
It was Khalil Herbert. Yeah. So they got Daniel Jones, Khalil. Yeah, this.
Travarius Ward's a huge signing, but
it's not. I feel like it's not going to mean much, man. They'll finish second in their division.
Yeah, I mean that's assuming Trevor Lawrence doesn't have something to prove. That's beside the
Nick
point.
Mullins.
Yeah.
on to the Jaguars. Nick Mullins.
You know what? I'm not going to say something.
This division's not worth talking about yet.
The Colts, man, they keep liking old quarterbacks. I don't get it. Jaguars making moves, new general manager, new head coach, a little life brought to the team. Evan Engram leaving. I can't remember for who or if we've already talked about it, but they pick up Diami Brown, Nick Mullins. Not bad. You still
I'm
have
kind of
Mac
shocked
Jones.
the Commanders would get rid of Diami Brown because he's really did pick it up last year.
Yeah, I'm curious if they're
Towards the
targeting
end.
someone in the draft potentially, but that's a great pickup for the Jaguars. He showed life. He was kind of dead in the water, and then he's up and at it in the postseason. Great pickup.
They also did get the Dallas's cornerback Jordan Lewis.
Yeah, Jordan Lewis is actually
pretty good.
Yeah, he's been doing well on the Cowboys. I think he's got every cornerback gets burned, but he's had more plays that I remember being good than bad. So
yeah,
that in itself is a crazy stat for a
but
cornerback.
The Jaguars defense really, that's not like the missing piece, you know. Like they got more work to do.
Their D line was pretty good last year. The corners need some help, and Jordan Lewis, that's a great little patch there. They just need that Trevor Lawrence to stay healthy. Just keep it moving. The Titans. I'm glad they signed a punter. I think Will Levis will. Well, that punter might get the most work out of anybody in the NFL, technically.
Yeah.
What he doesn't realize is he signed a 1-year deal to blow out his leg.
You got 1 year to prove that you can get off the Titans. You're good enough to be off them.
On to the Broncos, a little bit more exciting. Stidham back or re-signed. Sorry. I didn't read the first word of that sentence.
There's your Ingram.
Oh, Evan Engram. That's where he signed.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, damn it! I wanted the Chargers to get him.
I was kind of shocked they got rid of their running back too.
Oh yeah, Javonte Williams.
Yeah, the boys.
I remember seeing that safety Talanoa Hufanga. I thought I remember him being good and based off the deal. That's a good pickup for them. I mean, they're beefing up their defense quick.
Yeah, Drake Greenlaw's really.
Yeah, Drake Greenlaw's huge.
Matt
bunch of re-signings.
He's cheap, but he's solid.
That team's gonna be a problem next year, I think. I think Sean Payton finally found Moneybag, and Bo Nix is that man. Chiefs beefing up their offensive line. They need to do that without a doubt.
They've lost a lot of weapons though so far.
Yeah, Matt Ariza.
He's a beast, but
he is. He was that really good punter that got the allegations that proved to be false.
I believe he was on the Cardinals, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong though.
He got drafted by the Bills when that scandal happened. If that's
but he played, right?
Not for a year. Then he might have gone Cardinals. Then
I believe it was Cardinals. I could be wrong.
That sounds about right.
Don't sue me.
Nah, don't. Hey, but yeah, Chiefs look like mainly just getting those trenches positions beefed up. Christian Fulton, can't remember him based on the deal. I'm assuming he's good.
I'm gonna fall for it again, where I feel like they've got worse in this offseason so far. I know they're still trying to make the AFC Championship. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fall for it again. I'm gonna be disappointed again next year.
I respect that. At least you're self-aware. Raiders. Geno Smith, the quarterback of new today, now on the Raiders.
Las Vegas Seahawks, baby.
Yeah. I'm
Pete
curious
Carroll,
to see how that
Geno
goes.
Smith.
He's going to be throwing to Brock Bowers and whoever else they decide to use as a wide receiver.
Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Yeah,
that works for me. Picked up some defensive positions. I mean,
they picked up Alex Kappa. He's the triple crown winner of the Bengals.
Yes,
the worst stats possible for an offensive lineman or guard.
The Raiders will be fun to watch next. It's either going to go according to plan or everything but according to plan. Either way, it'll be fun football to see.
Yeah.
Not much to talk about there aside from that. Chargers, Jalen Reagor. He's back. Najee Harris. That's great. I mean, I think Najee Harris produced the Steelers had the worst rushing offense of over 3 years of an NFL team or something crazy. Least efficient. J.K. Dobbins isn't gone yet. I don't know if he's up to be re-signed or not, but sure, let's do it. Gus Edwards was hurt for however many games, so this technically can't be as bad unless he.
I think Najee's ran for over 1,000 almost every single year.
He has. I'm gonna get I'm gonna get excited. I'm just not there yet. It's just it's only March. I need to get pumped for it. Tier Tart re-signing, that's perfect. Dante Jackson, that's who I'm excited about, and Elijah Molden. They're definitely beefing up the cornerback room. They had a couple guys leave. I can't. Tuna Ford leaving, that hurts, but you know, they re-signed Khalil Mack. Can't be mad. Bradley Bozeman's back. Needed the center. That's great. Honestly happy with the Chargers moves. They're definitely taking an edge rusher in the draft, I think. Anybody that wants a wide receiver that's a Chargers fan, just accept that they're going to beef up the trenches before they even touch skill positions that they can't just pick up, and that's fine. Justin Herbert will make it work. Oh, Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, sir.
Well, you got Kroger Brand, what's his name? Javonte Williams instead of, who's the running back that you loved last year in college?
Oh, Ashton Genty.
Yeah, so you got Kroger
I still
Brand,
want Genty, man, bro. That hurts. I know a lot of people were saying it's a bad to get him at 12, man. I think it's smart. You know,
if
get a
he
likable
falls,
face in there with everyone already hating the Cowboys.
hometown
Even the
hero,
fans hate Jerry, man. Like, yeah,
grew
he's a
up
good
around the
face. He's a
Cowboys.
good running back. Like, it's worth it.
I can't imagine it being that bad, but
There's not much. We really didn't do that much so far this offseason. It's a lot of just re-signing, a couple guys here and there. Like,
that's not bad getting that depth.
it's better
though.
than
A lot
last
of
year. It's
defense.
better than last year.
A lot of defensive positions after the defense had a lot of injuries this past season. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
You got Osa Odigizua. I was really hoping he'd sign with the Chargers, to be honest. That's a great pickup for the Cowboys.
He re-signed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was hoping he was leaving. Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Oh, you're good. Yeah. I mean, I can't complain too much. Like, it's really not that bad. But I was just hoping for more after last year's funk of going all in and then nothing happening. Last year, all they did was get a long snapper. And with all the news going on in the first day of the thing, the only thing they did was extend their long snap.
Well,
So,
you know what?
I was already on the low.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a little happier seeing this now, but it's
Kenneth Murray, ex-first round or second round pick from the Chargers.
not bad.
Could be worse. Yeah, could be the Giants.
I really could be worse. What makes me mad about this Giants is who was it?
Darius Slayton, $36 million.
Who would it pay Saquon Barkley, arguably the best running back in the league last year, $36 million for 3 years? That was the contract you wanted.
Yep.
You let him walk, he goes crazy, and you keep Darius Slayton for $36 million on 3 years.
I'm convinced they did that on purpose as a joke, and now everyone's just like beside themselves about it.
It's horrible. I generally don't understand the process there.
Yeah, no one will be doing off-season Hard Knocks anymore because of that, and the Giants will live in infamy as that team.
You could pay a lot better wide receiver 3 years, $36 million. They will come.
Yeah, and also, quarterback they need, but potentially they're going to be the trading for the first overall pick this season. So
yeah, Cam Ward.
Yeah, we'll see who gets Cam Ward, because there's a couple teams that feel like they're betting their franchises on it for 5 years. Eagles, obviously DTR comes there. Barkley gets his
extension.
Thank you. AJ Dillon goes there. That's solid to have back there. I mean, there's plenty of those games that Saquon really didn't need to play the second half of the game. AJ Dillon will probably see more field than you'd expect.
Because Kenneth Gainwell's gone.
Yes, true. Yep. And go ahead.
Oh, sorry. They've lost a lot of pieces of their defense. As we were talking about earlier, Slay, Gardner Johnson. They've lost a few other pieces, too. For some reason, I feel like a bunch of them just got their ring and got out and got their bag.
Yes, I agree. And I'm also convinced a lot of them weren't going to be coming back regardless, because I believe it seems like whoever the GM is, and forgive me for not remembering because I can see his face in my head, but he's been really good about drafting young defensive players they can get cheap and bulk. Yeah, and then just letting them run with it, because that's a strategy in itself. Is just doing a really good job at training young guys cheaply and then making the most of your offense that you can pay.
It makes me happy because I feel like they did get weaker by a decent amount. Their O-line's still really strong. Their offense is still going to be really strong. They still got a pretty good defense, but they've lost a lot of big names.
They lost some corners and safeties. That'll be interesting to watch, but also they scored. Yeah, you have your opinions.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Commanders. Just getting ready to go for a Super Bowl run. Should be pretty easy.
Laramie Tunsil was crazy.
The gas mask man himself. I couldn't believe he left the Texans, but that's a huge pickup for the Commanders, honestly. Zach Ertz re-signed, getting Debo. How could we overlook that?
I know how I could overlook that.
Debo and Terry will be interesting. It might work out, it might not. It is Debo Samuel, so I don't know. I don't know what to expect from
He
this.
pulled
to be
the
honest.
James Harden, man. It says he wanted a trade and then gained a bunch of weight to get out of the trade.
Yeah. We'll have to see. I don't know. Bobby Wagner re-signing, huge. I can't believe he's still in the league. Good on him.
No, I like what they've done so far.
Yeah, I mean, the Commanders being good is not the worst thing in the NFL.
I think the only real big person they lost was who was it earlier? Not Diami Brown, but he was just one or two or three, and
yeah,
Debo's definitely better than Diami Brown. So
I would argue it. I mean, this past postseason, Brown was a little bit better, but we'd have to check the stat books.
Well, sorry, I didn't guess he did go Samuel in the postseason.
Mr. Chi-Town itself, the Bears, making some moves. I mean, getting prepared for Caleb Williams to maybe be the best quarterback of this generation. You know, it's okay if it takes a year. That takes most quarterbacks a year. But yeah, you know, Ben Johnson over there, souping up the Bears to try and go for a run, making some moves. Joe Thuney, huge move for the Bears. Drew Dalman, center. They're beefing up the offensive line. That's what needs to happen. If you're a Bears fan, can't be too mad.
Past 3 years, I have seen that the Bears have won free agency. The past 3 years, I hear that they're S plus at everything they do, except actually play fucking football. So, you know what? Good for them. I can't wait for them to go.
Well, sorry, Matt.
I can't wait for them to win 4 games this year. And then next year, we'll be having the same conversation of how well they did.
You know what? Some teams win more from March to August than they do from September to January. And that's just...
You know what? My team's not that good either, but I'll never be worse than the Bears. That's all I can say.
Everyone has hope right now, and you just got to let everyone run with it.
No.
The only time people win or lose are trades. Not except the Bears. You're right. Instant loss. Detroit Lions. You know, making some moves. I don't think they've lost too many people at the moment. Beefing up the defense, literally, as all 5 players here.
They lost one pretty good safety, I believe. I can't remember his name, but they lost one guy.
Yeah. Was that Zadarius Smith? Did he move?
No, they released him. They didn't trade or anything. Yeah. That was one other guy. It was the same time they got Reed. TJ Reed. Yeah. They traded the other guy and they got Reed.
Okay, there you go. Simple as that. Packers, not much movement, honestly. I haven't heard much from the Packers. Maybe they'll do something later.
That kicker's the beast.
Hey, good kicker. Hey, we love good kickers.
Oh, I guess, was AJ Dillon on their team last year?
That's what I thought.
So I guess they lost him, but that's about it.
Yeah, they still have Josh Jacobs at the moment. Vikings getting that defensive help. I know they lost some defensive players that were key last year. Let obviously Daniel Jones leave, which is probably for the best in the Vikings, and they'll be looking to have JJ McCarthy. Sam Darnold would somewhere else, I think, too. We'll get it. I don't think we've hit that yet. Oh god. I mean, they'd sign a offensive guard, Will Fries. I'll buy his jersey tonight. To be honest with you, that is a phenomenal NFL name. And Byron Murphy re-signed. I remember a couple of these names. I'm not going to act like I have any idea. I hope Ryan Wright is great at punting. That's all I know. NFC South still got Kirk Cousins, obviously, and have added a few pieces here and there.
Is Kirk still on the Falcons?
I don't think he's not on the Falcons.
No, you're right. Yeah, he signed that deal.
He did. He put that ink to paper, baby.
They got Leonard Floyd. He's pretty solid.
Yeah. Divine Deablo. That's a sweet name. I hope that's pronounced Diablo, but who knows? Yeah. Panthers. Lots of moves here. I didn't quite realize how many moves they were making.
Bryce Young had one good end of the year, and they're like, he might be our guy.
Yeah, you know, re-signed 2-year deal. Probably didn't take too much cap hit, especially when you're signing Tommy Tremble. I mean, just striking fear into the defense.
I believe J.C. Horn is now the highest paid quarterback of all time.
Good on him. Get your bag. Mike Jackson, hell yeah. I don't know about a lot of the rest of these guys, but hey. I hope the most success to the Panthers. I really do.
They don't need much for the NFC South.
They really don't. Saints re-signed Juwan Johnson, absolute dog. Chase Young, he's coming back. Still hilarious to me that the Commanders let him go. Justin Reed signed, amazing. solid moves. I don't really have much to talk about with them. They still need to figure out their quarterback and who that's going to be going forward. Chris Godwin coming back to a 3-year deal. I didn't think wide receivers could get that old. Congratulations.
Hassan Reddick. That's what I'm interested in.
Who is Hassan Reddick going to beef with the most out of the Saints, Panthers, and Falcons wide receivers?
And will he sit out this year?
And will he sit out? I mean, does he beef with Kyle Pitts, Drake London?
Yeah. Hassan Reddick's the guy who on the Jets last year, right? That said he wanted traded, big deal, and then finally agreed to a contract. Or am I crazy?
Oh, I was thinking of the other guy on the Commanders that always beefed with Mike Evans.
No.
Oh shit,
Lattimore.
that's on me. Hand up, they were both in the news.
That was Lattimore, and that's when he was on the Saints, and then he went to the Commanders because everyone thought the Commanders and Bucks were going to fight at the this year. We're going to fight in the playoffs round one.
Apologies to our faithful listeners if you made it this far through the podcast.
I'm pretty sure Hassan Reddick was on the Jets last year.
You're 100% right.
He held out for all this stuff. They finally paid him his contract. Then he said, "Never mind, I don't want to play anymore."
What a move!
Yeah.
Zay Jones going to the Cardinals out west. Brissett signed. Not groundbreaking
Josh
moves.
Sweat's the big one. That's about it.
Josh Sweat, big deal. Good on him. Jimmy G coming back to the Rams. Really, the spearheading the Rams news. Honestly, Devontae Adams. No, thank you. Jimmy G is what we're worried about. But yeah, Devontae Adams to the Rams. That's huge. I'm kind of surprised he went there, but
yeah, I can't believe they're signing Tutu for $10 million.
Yeah,
they barely used that dude, man.
I know, but wasn't he the guy that it was him and Robinson, and if someone was just open downfield, it was one of the two, and it was just the most random catches ever in a game.
They get one target and it'd be for 55 yards.
Yes, Mr. Over/Under.
Yeah.
They signed Poona Ford from the Chargers. He had a great season last year. That defensive line is actually going to be scary on the Rams with Vance, I believe his name was, or whoever that young kid was on the Rams.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
Absolute game wrecker. Good on the Rams. Those are solid signings, honestly. 49ers.
I think they're potentially losing Ayuk. Already lost Debo.
Yeah. Well, they signed DeMarcus Robinson, the guy we were just talking about.
Yeah, fair.
Not much going on here. Some guy for 1.5 with 200,000 guaranteed, just getting his bag. I respect the hell out of that.
I like how they signed Patrick Taylor, but I wonder if they're going to draft a running back.
Maybe. That third
they
string.
They still got Garendo. They still got Taylor.
Yes. They still have
CMC so injured. He was having double. Originally it was one leg problem. Now it's 2 leg problem. He finally came back and got hurt right back again. And the Niners still couldn't get a run game with Garendo or Taylor. So I'm curious to see what their thought is there. They're still a solid team. They're still hurt.
It felt like an off year last season. I'm curious to see how they do this upcoming.
And they let go of Kyle Juszczyk to even trade anything for him. Just let him go, which that was shocking to me.
He's gonna get picked up. He's one
he's
of
good.
6 fullbacks in the NFL because running backs are halfbacks, but he's a fullback, something like that.
I'm a fan of him.
I am too. I wouldn't mind if the Chargers got him. Sam Darnold, the demon in the night, coming to the Seattle Seahawks. 3 years, $100.5 million.
He said he was going to go and scam a team, just like Kirk Cousins did with the Falcons. That's what I said, and he went in there.
Yeah,
$100 million for Sam Darnold.
It is a bit atrocious considering he had one good season.
That's what I'm saying. And you had the probably second best wide receiver duo in the league with JJ and Addison. You also had Naylor, who was pretty solid. You had Hawkinson.
Yep.
I think Joey Munt, was he also on the Vikings? He was pretty good.
Don't
and then you also had Aaron Jones in the background.
Yeah.
And Madison. That team was stacked. Now you're going to the Seahawks, who just lost DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett.
Yeah. Now you got MVS and
you got JSN and Marcus and MVS,
yeah, and
Jake Bobo.
Oh, Bobo, fucking demon.
Can't forget Bobo.
Yeah, fuck Hawkinson. Bobo will do just fine. We have Hawkinson at home.
I think that's a major overplay, and committing for 3 years, I feel like it's too risky after watching what we did with the Jets and the Niners.
Unless
I could be wrong. I could just be a hater. But
unless their plan is to tank for 3 years and just build a team in those 3 years. And then
just give them $100 million for a tank.
Well, you want to keep them around. a diabolical idea by that head coach.
$100 million scapegoat.
Yeah, I mean, picking up DeMarcus Lawrence is huge from the Cowboys, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't get it. They'll need to find more wide receivers. You can't have one around JSN and MVS, but it's a good start, honestly. Scantling's got the experience, and he'll make it work.
Could be a hater, but that's just my take.
Yeah, you know what? It's March. No one's opinions really matter anyway right now. What we're telling you right now, if you made it this far in the video, don't matter. Because who knows what these... You're right. We're so right. Yeah. We're never wrong. Always right. Just check the comments from the wide receiver rankings video that happened about a year ago.
Jamar Chase, number 1, baby.
Number one. Nevertheless, wonderful people. This video went way longer than I expected. Apologies, Matt, really.
I enjoyed it. We're good.
You know what? I hope everyone had fun. Next week, we'll be back in studio. Back with K-Man himself. He'll be back from snowy Buffalo to give us a more in-depth analysis on the stadium. I believe he broke in and got across the fence. So we'll have to see what other footage... No, I'm kidding. Hope everyone has a great week. Hopefully your teams are picking up every player you've ever wanted, or they're not, and it's still hilarious. So be it. Nevertheless, everyone have a great week, and we'll see you all next week on the Coy Pond. Peace!